Hi everyone. My late husband's body would convert the carbohydrates he ate to alcohol, rendering him 2 to 3 times above the legal limit. The medical condition is called Auto Brewery Syndrome, or ABS. My name is Michelle Giannato. I'm the Vice President and Patient Advocate for the nonprofit Auto Brewery Syndrome Information and Research. When my husband first developed this medical condition, it was after a course of antibiotics in September of 2015. And he did not get formally diagnosed until December of 2016. Throughout our journey, we were having a really difficult time before we figured out what he had. And a friend of mine had suggested we keep a running log or notes of everything that was occurring so that perhaps through the notes we could figure out why he was becoming so sick. I now have 5 years worth of notes. Even after he was diagnosed, I continued to keep this log of every doctor we saw, everything they said, everything they did, every test, every blood test, every result, including the treatment, what worked, what didn't work, and how it affected his diabetes. A goal of mine for 2026 is to take those notes and convert them into chapters. I was doing it for a little bit and I had to stop because it was triggering my PTSD. It's very difficult to read through everything that we went through and the effect that it had on him and I and our families and friends. When I read these notes, I think, how did he do it? How did I do it? How did we get through this? How does anyone who takes care of someone with a rare disease or a challenging disease, how do they get through it? And the only thing I could come up with is we didn't really have a choice. There was really no one else. We had to just dig in and do it. So I'm going to push myself, regardless of how difficult it may be, to convert those notes to chapters. And then eventually I do have a person lined up to help me get the documentation to a point where I could get my story published. There's a lot involved in taking care of someone with auto brewery, way more than I could probably convey in these TikTok videos and YouTube videos. I'm trying to give my audience little bits and pieces at a time, but it's so much more. It is so much more. I could probably turn my story into a movie because it has all the elements of it. Maybe one day, but for 2026, my goal is get that documentation translated into something that I can explain what it's like as a caretaker for someone with ABS. If you are a medical professional or someone that has ABS, or you're a caretaker for someone with ABS, our website, autobrewery.org, is where you can go to download case studies and information and reach out to our leadership team. You can reach out to me as well, and we will provide you the information you need, the diet tips that we've learned, and what we know to be the best practices to date to test, diagnose, and possibly treat ABS. Again, our website is autobrewery.org. There's also a book available for purchase called My Gut Makes Alcohol by Barbara Cordell. And if you'd like to make a donation, we'd be very appreciative because it would keep the ongoing studies that we have to date continuing to help the over 1,000 people in our support group that are suffering with this disease. Have a great 2026. Thank you.